So you guys opened with saying the most important thing is character. So when you're sitting down to create these relatable characters, what are the truths or the tools that you come back to as creators? And David, you can weigh in on this, or what are the things that you kind of listen to in your gut when you're looking at a property?
I think in the beginning it's about what do you want to say. I think that's at the root of it. I think if you were going to sit down, you wouldn't say, I've always wanted to make something in a prison. You would sort of begin with, what do I want to say about relationships? What do I want to say about what one human will do for another human? What would you give up for someone that you love, for a relative? And if you can come at a place of what you want to say.
I disagree, Zach.
Oh! Gauntlet thrown.
I don't think it's what people would want to do for, but to another person.
Well, that's a different kind of prison story, I believe. That's something else altogether. But even that, though, you're still tapping into a desire, right? You are being transported by that, not necessarily a setting or a world or, a set piece, a big action thing. I think even if you're talking about a Fast and the Furious movie, you think, I want to do a car chase movie. No, you actually are telling a story about brotherhood, right? About a team of people together coming for a common goal. And I think if you approach the stories that way, you'll always tell, not always, you'll have a chance. You'll have a fighter's chance of making something that works.
In television, I think it's very true that you can talk about the various themes or aspects or emotional engines of a television show, but at the end of the day, every single television show is about some type of family. And the word family will always come up, whether it's an actual biological family or a group of people that have bonded in a family way, and the various roles that those people play with each other as if they were a family.
I think an interesting example, has Breaking Bad played here?
You guys like Breaking Bad?
Yeah. That's, not an idea that you would think, that's a home run idea. It's about a guy who's dying and he's going to start dealing drugs. Like, that's not something that you would think that would connect. And something about that show did, right? That's the interesting part about thinking of, a concept's going to make a hit. There's no great idea there. It's about the people and the world and how you connect to that man. That man is at this point in his life where he is lost hope. And what do you do? How do you take those last moments in your life and make something happen? What kind of risks will you take? Not the idea, it's the choice.
When we invest in a film or pick up distribution rights in a film, often we just have a script. So when I'm reading the script, for me, it's about the personal journey. My journey is along with the character arc, and I feel like if I'm going along for the ride, do I ever read and feel like this doesn't make any sense, or if you've lost me, that doesn't work? From a personal point of view, the script needs to really communicate to me that. But also then, I put on my business hat, I got to think, okay, this film should be made, just like a lot of good scripts should be made, but it comes down to brass tacks. How much? Certain movies should be made, yes, for $10 million, not 50. So, those are some of the questions I ask myself when we're trying to determine the film.
I think another interesting example just of what we've been talking about is Lost, which I think people here have definitely seen. Some of my very good friends made that show, and you might think that that's a show that's about what would happen if a bunch of people crashed on an island. When you think, that's the big idea. But it's not. I mean, when you watch that show, it's really about who are these people. And you're filling in those backstories, and you're slowly learning that people are not who you thought they were, and they have interesting stories. And then there's the mystery of the island, and all of these things. It is, ultimately, you're watching that show, I think, not to find out what the island is. I think you're watching that show to figure out how these people that you are slowly falling in love with as characters are going to survive, and who are they as people. It's not necessarily the idea, it's the human element.
One example I just want to throw out there, sometimes you go in and you feel like this is a winning formula, and this is what happened when we got behind Rush. you know, if you get behind a film, you got to look at the entire team, the filmmakers, the script, the stars, everybody, and you go in and you believe in it. And that was a film that it didn't work, you know. And it's a great film. I'm very proud of it to be involved with it.
Why didn't it work?
It didn't. It, you know, it was maybe it was race cars. I don't know.
No, like-
It didn't work anywhere really. But the star power was there, the acting was there, the filmmaking was there. So sometimes you still don't know.
I'm sorry to say I didn't see it. I'm sorry. But was there something like, do you think when you watched it, you're like, oh, we missed, was there a story beat missed? Was there a thing, do you think people didn't connect to it emotionally and it was just about cars? Or was there...
No. I mean, you know, when Ron Howard pitched the film, he said he wanted to make a race car movie that you've never seen, which he did. He took you into the trenches of the race cars and the mentality of the drivers, what motivates them to literally put their life on the line, you know, day in and day out. It's a great emotional journey, and it's still one of the proudest films I've ever been involved with. But it didn't work. And
It sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
I want to go see it right now.
Have you seen it, Vince? Rush? It's terrible. It's travesty.
I'm just saying he's seen your shows. Why haven't you seen? That seems like you're not supporting your
I
friend.
get it, but I got invited him, so.
Okay.